All right, let's do part 2 of our MyFitnessPal tutorial. We're going to be adding foods today. All right, and this is how we are going to quote unquote track our macros. So we've already set up your goals and set up your macros with the previous video, and that was your protein, fat, and carbs percentage. Today, for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how to log the food. So we will be talking soon about how each one of those macros fuels our body, but for right now, I'm just going to show you how to log in foods. So first of all, it's important to know that there are thousands of foods in MyFitnessPal. It is basically like Wikipedia. Anyone can save anything. So it's not always spot on when you do a search, but I'm going to show you how, if you want to be as accurate as possible, it's always best to scan a barcode. I am going to show you real quick how to do that. So let's pull up our food diary. Let's pretend like we're adding breakfast. And you can see in that upper right-hand corner, it says in blue, scan barcode. If you tap that, it opens up your camera. And I'm going to do my, this is the creamer that I sometimes use if I'm not using nut pods. I really like this one. This is more like a traditional half and half. If you put the barcode in there, it actually brings it up. So you can see this is as accurate as possible because this comes directly from the company. So this is, all I would have to do is make sure that I'm actually putting in the right serving size. So this is for 15 milliliters. 15 milliliters is 1 tablespoon. So if I'm using 2 tablespoons, I'm going to touch on that number of servings. And you can either use, it does it by fractions, or you can change it to decimal. So I could say, not 12, I'm doing 2 of those. Okay, you can also change the serving size. If I touch that 15 ml, it will let me, like if you prefer to look at it as a tablespoon, it doesn't change anything. If I wanted to use the whole container, if you wanted to, so say you only use, like maybe you use a tablespoon and a half, so you use, 15, 20 mLs, you can totally change it based on that, or ounces or whatever. So there's lots of ways to change. You just want to make sure that however you're entering it and is correct. And then you're going to touch that check in the right hand corner, and that takes me to this screen where I could add some more things. So if I'm eating more things for breakfast, these are basically foods. The history are foods that I use most often that MyFitnessPal remembers for me. So if I know that I'm eating today, I'm going to have bacon, I'm going to have eggs with egg whites, you can go through and you can add all of those things and they will pop up in underneath your breakfast. I'm actually going to delete all of those out. Delete all of those out so we can start from scratch for the sake of this. So again, I want to reiterate that this is just a tool. It's not going to always be precisely accurate, and that's okay. We don't want to get obsessive about it. We just want to have it be as close as we can to what we're actually eating. So like I said, scan barcode is the best. The other one is you can type in something and you will see a blue check mark. Like let me type in apple. So if I'm typing in apple, I'm just going to hit search here because, green check mark. I'm thinking blue check mark because of, verifications on Twitter and stuff, but it's a blue check mark. These mean these have been verified. Anything with a green check mark has been verified by MyFitnessPal. So 1 medium apple. So the closer you can get to what specific type of apple you had, like a medium gala, that has 80 calories, all right? Granny Smith, 80 calories. So the green check mark is the next best thing after scanning the barcode. All right. So also when you are using MyFitnessPal a lot, it will, like every morning, because a lot of people eat the same breakfast, I can swipe right and it will add my day before brekkie. So today is actually a low carb day, so I will not be having my egg white oatmeal. So let's go ahead and delete. Actually, it's going to be a pain to delete that. I'll just save that in there for the sake of this. So as you can see, let's go to lunch. So when you log in, this is your home screen. You can go to food diary. Now, like I said, we are not ever going to use that exercise diary part. Let's go ahead and add in let's add food for dinner. So let's say we're going to have chicken for dinner. Chicken. All right. So all the things that I've ever used with chicken pops up. So let's actually not select one of those. Let's just hit enter and it takes me to any variety of chicken. So we're going to do grilled chicken, 4 ounces. And I'm going to click that and then I'm going to check add. It's going to put that in my diary. So always make sure you hit that check and then hit add. And actually yours may be set up a little differently than that because I have multiple, I have it set up to add multiple at once. If you don't have that set up, then you will just hit that check mark each time. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to get to it. I hit the food diary, but you can actually hit this blue plus at the bottom and it will tell you, this will pop up and you can hit food and then you can select which thing you're doing and then go from there. So there's lots of different ways. Just play around and figure out which one you like best. Same with like the, let's see, if we're playing with serving size, maybe you like putting in decimals. Maybe you like doing fractions. So like if you had 6 ounces, you could say you had an ounce and a serving and a half would be 6 ounces of chicken. And then you click the check and then you click the check again in the upper right hand corner and that changes it for you. Pre-logging your day, if you can, will help you hit your macros. I always try to front load my day with as much protein as I can because once I get to dinner, if I am missing 40 grams of protein, it's too late. I'm not going to be able to get all that in one day. And you can see up here it tells me after entering breakfast how many more carbs, protein, and fat I need to get. So if you like, take your total protein for the day and divide it by 3, and that gives you a goal of how much you need to try to be hitting within each meal. Okay, so pre-logging is helpful. I struggle personally with that, but the people who do that have the best success. So if you already have planned out what you're eating, you can plug it in and then you can play with it up or down, depending on if you need more or less of something. All right. So, and we always want to be within plus or minus 10 grams. That's our goal. Okay. And this is probably not going to happen within the first 2 weeks or even the first 4. It takes a really long time to dial it in and really hit those macros. Now, once you hit it, it becomes much easier. Once you figure out, okay, this is the volume of food, because actually this is a lot of food. You're going to be needing to eat a lot of food to hit your macros. And that I think is sometimes the biggest hurdle for people because it's mentally we think we should eat less in order to lose weight, but actually we need to be eating more. So once you get good at nailing your macros, let's see if I can go back to a day and show you. I'm trying to think. I did really well when I was at the beach, so let me go back to a beach day, see if I can see it. Maybe not. And was I at the beach? Why is it? Oh, there we go. Okay. So you can see here is all the things that I ate in that day. And I did, let's see, I don't remember what my macros were then, but it'll tell you like how much you have down here. You can see the red. Red means I went over. This is a Wednesday, so this was a regular macro day. I went a little bit over in my what is that? My protein. Never too bad to go over in protein. I hate how it doesn't show you at the bottom what these numbers are. So my carbs, I didn't eat quite enough carbs that day. I did 150 out of my 188. I did 60 grams of fat instead of 56. And my protein, I was one shy of protein. But as you can see, my calories for that day were almost 3,000 calories. My goal was 2,300 calories. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the sodium. My calories, I actually was a little low on calories. I should have eaten a little bit more than that. So anyway, once you have plugged in your daily entry, at the bottom left, you see this tab that says nutrition. Touch that. When I ask you to post your, I think normally this is what shows up until you change it. This is your macros. So my goals have changed since I was, since this day. My goals are 45% carbs, 30% fat, and 25% protein. So I did really good at hitting that. Okay, but this is not what I want the screenshot of. I want the screenshot of that middle tab, nutrients. This is what you're going to screenshot on your phone, your iPad, whatever. You're going to screenshot that, and then that picture that just saved right there, that is what I want you to share on the 5 a.m. daily post, so that I can see where your macros are. I can see, like for this, you can see I went a little over in fat, and not quite enough carbs. I want you to be within 10 grams plus or minus, and I am 38 grams low in carbs this day. Now, granted, I was at the beach, so give myself some grace. Like we always say in the Faster Way, progress, not perfection. Okay. The nice thing is that when you're eating the same thing over and over, let me get out of this. When you're eating the same thing over and over again, and I'm just going to show you in this. So like say lunch, say for lunch every day, on a regular macro day, I love to eat a tortilla with a slice of cheese and some peppered turkey, and baby carrots. If I do that a lot, excuse me, I can save this as a meal. Touch those 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner. You can click Save as Meal. It will take you to the screen, and you'll hit Save in that upper right-hand corner. You're going to name your meal, whatever you're naming it, and then Save. So when I go to, let's see, today, and I want to add that lunch in, I can touch my meals. I can click on that saved whatever I typed in, click the check mark, touch the add, since I have multi turned on. Now, if you don't have that turned on, it will just automatically save it. But I have this extra step, not sure why I did that. I should probably take that out. And it put it right there. See, now my lunch has the tortilla, the Colby Jack, pepper, and you can edit it. Like, if you know what, if I didn't have cheese because I'm in my 6 weeks, I can delete that right out. Okay, so there's lots of tricks, lots of ways to. Oops, my battery's dying. To put your stuff in there. If you have any problems, any questions, reach out. My biggest tip is, if you get to the end of the day and you are feeling full, but you have not quite hit your macros, don't eat for the sake of eating. Don't just try to slam in, 40 grams of carbs right before the end of your feeding window. We want to slowly work up to it. Okay, that's what the 6 weeks is about. We are slowly working up to trying to eat enough food to fuel our body. It's not going to happen overnight. We don't want it to happen overnight. I would like you just to kind of use a gauge if this is scientifically set. These macros are scientifically set so that we want to work up to it. We don't want to stuff ourselves. So if at the end of the day you are 80% full, I do not want you to eat more just for the sake of hitting those macros, okay? I hope this video was helpful. Like I said, if you have questions, put them in the comments, reach out. I'm so excited to see all of you guys just thrive and begin using this tool to aid in your fat loss.